how can leaders leverage advancement in technology to drive sort of cross-industry innovation and create synergies that might not have been possible before, now that we are seeing advancement in technologies a lot?
Right. So, see, advancement in technology is almost used as a synonym for innovation in organizations. We must first understand what innovation is and where it comes from. Innovation is a product of insight. And as Gary Klein, a researcher in the naturalistic decision-making field, said, insight is the germination of an idea that allows a person to realize that a solution is possible. And then that person works on the insight to find and create a solution. So insight is fueled by our intuitive thinking, but it does require deep thinking. Occasionally, insight occurs suddenly, as in the famous Archimedes' eureka. But sometimes insight occurs slowly over a long period of time. And there are examples of Charles Darwin, for example, but a more remarkable example perhaps is of a person called Dr. Barry Marshall. Barry Marshall was awarded a Nobel Prize in 2005 for medicine and physiology. And his work was interesting about an insight how it emerged slowly. As a doctor, he found that the prevalent way of treating peptic ulcers and gastritis was to prescribe that people try and avoid stress, to prescribe antacids, and in extreme cases, surgery to remove the infected part of usually the small intestine, but could even be the large intestine, but parts of it. But he found a curious coincidence. Some of these intestines that had been removed, he found a particular bacterium in them. And he said, how can it be such a coincidence that I find it in so many cases? So he theorized that it was a bacterium-led disease and not merely the cause of spectrum. The prevalence of stress or acidity. And the argument was quite prevalent among doctors because they said, how can a bacterium survive in the acidic environment of the stomach? Nothing can survive it. And he wrote a paper on it. Unfortunately, his paper was rejected. In fact, the rejection by the reviewers said it is one of the worst 10% papers that they had read. So they gave it very poor rating. And he then mixed some Helicobacter pylori. He made a broth of it and he drank it. Within 3 days, he was vomiting. He had gastritis. And he treated himself with antibiotics and he was fine after some time. And now the paper that he wrote was accepted and subsequently it became the standard method of treatment of gastritis. And subsequently, it has also been established that Helicobacter pylori can cause duodenal ulcer.
Wow.
And cancer. Now, this is an example quite opposite to that of Einstein, because insight was fueled by observing a curiosity, a coincidence. But it took time for that idea to germinate into a potential solution. Now, if innovation occurs in this manner, what can leaders do? And this is where the behavior of leaders, and this is something that we may touch upon, I'll probably touch upon again and again in this conversation. But leaders can use technology to advance this process of insight creation and insight proliferation in the organization. So technology can be used as a tool, as an aid, as a mechanism. Now, today, for example, advances in technology led by telecom, advanced engineering, computing power, and AI, they make it possible to expand horizons of innovation by bringing about synergies across different parts of the value chain of an organization. Things that were not hitherto possible are now possible. For example, big data analytics and machine learning now make it possible to integrate data from different sources within and outside the organization and reveal patterns and insights that wouldn't be visible if the data were not combined in this manner.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these technologies together with IoT can indicate or predict equipment failure. Preventive maintenance can extend the life and uptime and utilization of these machines. Similarly, use of these technologies like cloud computing, fast communication, etc., can improve communication and collaboration, and so on. Now, are there interesting examples? Yes. So take automotive insurance. Today, most insurance companies charge insurance premium for the car when it is sitting idle in the garage. Right? Now, what if a dongle could effectively monitor the performance of the car? I believe Allstate has already introduced it in parts in US, but in India and many parts of the world, this is still to be done. So a dongle can effectively monitor driving, IoT sensors in the car, local computing, GPS, fast and wireless internet, cloud computing, all of these things can come together to insure the car only when the driver and the vehicle is in motion. They are in motion. It reduces the cost of insurance for the car owner and the risk of false claims from the insurer for the insurer. Besides, it improves claim processing, settlement. So synergy drives customer satisfaction, reduces cost of service delivery, and diminishes risk. And all of these are when multiple technologies are at work and working synergetically. Right. And there are, of course, many other examples. You can co-create models, you can rapid prototyping and iteration, and so on and so forth.
True. No, I think that's something that I truly believe in as well, and I've seen examples of that. So it's good that you highlighted a couple of those examples.